going to be first in a, I don't know how long series of things to recognize so that maybe you do them and your opponent is the victim rather than your opponent does them and you're the victim. In this case, they're going to be maybe a little bit on the specific side. You're not potentially never going to see this actually come up in a game, but if you do, you want to know that it exists. In this case, it's going to be develop fortress and drawing village. Develop fortress is definitely a thing on its own. Like when developing fortress in the game, you are usually going to be playing some variety of developing fortresses, whether it's into, good 5-cost draw, payload, whatever. But when there's a drawing village, you're going to have an autopile available. And so what are the requirements for getting there? Well, you're going to need a develop in hand. You're going to need a fortress in hand. You're going to need 2 actions, nicely supplied here by village, but it doesn't have to be village. It could be another fortress. It could even be the 5-cost drawing village. And you're going to need 1 copy of the 5-cost drawing village in hand. In this case, we're using litter. This could also be Lost City. The requirements get a little bit more, whatever. If we're talking a different one like a hunting lodge, you need to be in this particular situation where you aren't looking at much of a deck or discard pile, just because you do need to be able to guarantee that you see essentially your entire deck when you do the discard with Hunting Lodge. And similarly with Cursed Village, except in that case you also have to pray that you don't get some devastating hex along the way that's going to screw up your combo. May not happen the most often. In any case, we have litter here. We have our 2 actions, and we have all of the requirements set. In this case, we happen to also have an empty deck because that was the fastest way to set it up. But as I say, with litter and Lost City, you could have anything here, and this is still going to be working. And so what's going to happen is you have your extra action. You develop the fortress into a copy of develop and the 5-cost drawing village. Use 5-cost drawing village in your hand. You can just draw them right up, and you can see here that we can keep going ahead and doing this until we've gone ahead and we've piled them. And so that's really a nice thing to do. As we go along here, obviously it's good on a developed fortress board to have basically all of the develops and basically all of the 5-cost drawing village. Makes your next turn very likely to work out okay. Maybe the develops not so much, but having a lot of the 5-cost drawing village can be really nice. And so then, even if it is litter and you're going to be in tons of debt to do this, what can happen on your next turn is that suddenly you have all of these actions, you have all these develops, and you have a fortress in deck. And so the next turn you're really just looking at probably piling duchies and ended up winning the game off of this. So it's something definitely to go for on boards where you do have these things together, because we can take a quick look. Maybe we'll put another village and duchy on top, and then this next turn, obviously this is hyped up by donate, but we go ahead and we have 8 develops, 9 actions, a fortress in hand. We can certainly be emptying these duchies right away, and so this is something that you definitely want to be doing on boards where it occurs. Might not be the most often thing, but it is something to look out for when it happens.